So to me, there are not many things better on the internet than when a top bartender has their carbonation rig explode on them. The combination of surprise and terror is just beautiful. But there's actually a line from the start of carbonation as we know it to these videos, and it's this idea of forced carbonation. So where did it come from? How did it originate? And what are some important things to remember when we talk through this story? So first and foremost, it started with Joseph Priestley. So he was the founder really of carbonation as we know it. So this was way back in 1760 something, a long time ago. America doesn't exist. The French Revolution hasn't happened, so a very long time ago. And what he did was he wrote a scientific paper called Impregnating Water with Fixed Air. And in this paper, what he does is he talks around his process and how he's dissolving CO₂ essentially into this liquid, into water. But what he writes about is a peculiar satisfaction that he gets from drinking the resulting liquid. If you think of how that would have tasted, it would have been a sort of light effervescence, but they were not really forced. He wasn't really forced carbonating it. And so he writes a scientific paper, this peculiar satisfaction. Again, it's a great descriptor, this peculiar satisfaction. So a couple of decades passed and Jakob Schweppes then takes this scientific paper and he builds on it. But what Jakob Schweppes does was he adds pressure. So this was the idea of force carbonating it and pushing carbon dioxide into water to create something that would have been really fizzy. And so the difference, I think, between the two, between Joseph Priestley, who was the founder in many ways of the concept of carbonation, what Jakob Schweppes did was he perfected this process. He force carbonated things. He, under pressure, pushed the CO₂ into the liquid. From that, I think it's fair to say that he is the creator of bubbles. He's sort of the creator of that real fizziness, and he turned it into a product that he could sell. And so quickly after that, he moves to Drury Lane in London, which is the same Drury Lane as the torture scene in Shrek with Lord Farquaad and the gingerbread man. Same Victorian rhyme. And this is the birth of the concept of force carbonation. Fast forward until now, everyone's got carbonation rigs. There's a lot more science. We know exactly what we're talking about and what are the scientific processes and happenings that are going on with carbonation, the factors that can affect it, and all those sorts of things. But really, it begins with this idea of pushing carbonation under pressure into a liquid. So although Joseph Priestley was the founder, I think it's fair to say that Jakob Schweppes created fizzy drinks as we know them today. And so yeah, what I wanted to do was just trace a through line between viral videos on the internet of bartenders having their carbonation rigs explode back to the first idea of adding carbonation to a liquid and creating something that gives you perhaps a peculiar satisfaction. So big up Jakob Schweppes, shout out Joseph Priestley, more thinking content for you guys. Cheers. Peace. Not sure how to end this.